Okay, so welcome back, and now we're going to do an example that involves metalwork. So in metalwork, a lot of times that in fabrications of different things like brackets, you're going to be bending things, right, in a machine, in a brake press or some other press that you might be working at. So here we have a metal rod, right, and we want to find the total length of this bent rod. So this is after it's been formed. Now the thing is it's easy to do the flat parts, right, the straight parts, but the circular part, the bend, that's going to be the part that's not going to be so easy to measure, okay? But we have some information that we can use to help us make it easier to calculate, okay? Now the first part here, this 8 inches and this 6 inches, that's easy. That's just going to be adding those together. We're going to have 14 inches for the straight pieces, the straight parts. Now, how are we going to do the bend? Well, a couple things to consider. One, we know the radius of the bend, right? We know the radius of the circle that's formed by the bend. Okay, so we know that that's 2 inches. Also, we can see that this is a 90-degree bend, which means this is going to form 1/4 of a circle, right? Because it goes 90 degrees from here to here. So that's going to give us 1/4 of the circumference of a circle, if you will, because that's what this is going to form. Okay, so that's 2. The third thing we have to consider is the fact that this radius is measured from the edge of this inside bend, right, the inside diameter, if you will, to the center of the circle, this imaginary circle I drew. Okay, that distance is 2 inches. Well, the radius of the outside circle, if I was to do the outside bend, that radius is going to be what? Well, it's going to be 3 inches because, again, I've got a 1-inch thickness, 1-inch diameter, if you will, of the rod. Okay, so that's going to add another inch to the radius. So again, depending on if you're talking about inside, it's 2 inches. Outside, it's 3 inches. So what do we do here? Because if I measure on the outside, that's going to be slightly longer than if I measure on the inside. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to split the difference and go with the center of the rod. So we're going to measure from the center of the rod because guess what? The center of the rod from here to here isn't going to change this value. From here to here, it's not going to change this value. So why don't we just make it the center and we'll just split the difference between the outside and the inside and we'll go with that measurement. Okay? So that means we're going to take the midpoint or the average of these two and that would be 2.5. So let's use the radius of 2.5. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. So we need to find this, use the circumference formula. So the circumference formula is pi times the diameter. Okay. Now, since we're dealing with 1/4 of a circle, right, and so we're going to therefore be dealing with 1/4 of the circumference, why don't we just take 1/4 of the circumference at this point? Okay. And also, since we're dealing with radius and not diameter, let's use the other formula for circumference, which is 2 pi r. Okay, so if we simplify this, this becomes what? Well, the 2 cancels with the 4. This is going to become pi r over 2. And now we're going to use the 2.5 inches. We're going to use 2.5 inches for the radius. So that's going to be pi times 2.5 over 2. And then if we put this in our calculator, we're going to get approximately what? What do we get? We're going to get 3.9. We're going to get approximately 3.9 inches. And so now we're going to add that to our 14 inches that we got from the 6 and the 8. And we get a total length of approximately 17.9 inches. And that's it. Have a great day.